You scaled the sheer cliff face, battling frostbite, running low on oxygen. The wind pierced your skin, and every inch was agony. You reached heights no other human had before, while getting nowhere at airport security. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover best-selling action titles on Audible.
Play the best golf in Brainerd at Craigan's Legacy Courses. PGA Tour legend Tom Lehman has masterfully designed our 900-acre property into two beautiful championship courses, the Lehman 18 and the Dutch 18. Every hole showcases white sand bunkers, generous bent grass fairways, and expansive green complexes while winding through a gorgeous Minnesota backdrop. We are also proud to host the CRMC Championship, a PGA Tour America's event this August. Make Craigan's Legacy Courses your must-stop this year by booking a tee time at Craigan's.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
816 Guns in the 701. You're on KFYR 550. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
Well, just mind having been numbed and surprised at the same time, and yet not surprised at the same time after last night. My wife had a stroke a few years ago, and she's watching Joe Biden go, she doesn't really follow politics as closely as some of us do. She does, but maybe not as close. But she asked me, she said, did he have a stroke? And I'm like, well, he's been kind of cooped up for the week. I mean, he may have, and we didn't hear about it, but I have to admit, he kind of looked like he was about to drool half the night. You know, he had that mouth open, looked like you see in cartoons. You know, when somebody on a cartoon is surprised, they have that, look on their face.
It was pretty obvious what's going on, wasn't it?
I don't know that any minds were changed other than if you're kind of like leaning toward Joe Biden, but not necessarily there. This may have steered you back a little bit. Other than that, I don't know if anybody's mind actually changed. But then again, most debates end up being kind of a, my guy won, your guy lost, no matter which side of the fence you're on. This was not one of those kind of debates last night.
No, it was actually kind of interesting to watch it. And I was very, very satisfied with what Trump did. I kind of said this on the show last Wednesday here, that said all Trump has to do is sit back and let Biden mumble and bumble and be Biden, and it's done. And that's pretty much what Trump did. He stayed on focus. He presented the facts. He's got a heck of a good record on a lot of that. And from what I can see now, I missed the first 15 minutes. But I didn't hear anything about gun control. Did you see any of that, Todd?
I didn't. Hang on.
I didn't even hear it mentioned.
We do have another contestant here that wants to play the slice and dice game with Guns in the 701. I thought I already punched the lineup. Sorry about that.
No. We're here.
I learned how to use a phone from Joe Biden. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Now, we have our new thing. You don't have a senior moment anymore. You have a Biden moment. Over and over again.
Last night. I mean,
what's that?
Biden Biden. I mean, he outdid himself last night. I mean, we make jokes about it, but I was just like, I was to the point where I felt bad for the guy. I know that's isn't really our thing, but I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, you really are out of it. But
and you're seeing plenty of the mainstream media going kind of in retreat mode as opposed to trying to spin it in how it was a Joe Biden victory. They're really not doing that. That should tell you something right there. And the problem is you can't just say, well, you know what, we're gonna let Joe kind of sunset on this political career and just move on to the vice president, because that's not exactly the most electable thing they've got going on. No,
No.
I've got up to 3 people who are insistent that Michelle Obama is going to become the nominee, and it's going to be kind of a last-second bait and switch thing, if you will, because if you do it too soon, then there's time to prepare the counter to it. If you wait, then there isn't enough time to figure out how to attack. And what do you guys think of that idea?
Clue. I have no
I don't
clue
think they're
what
going to do
path
that.
they're going to take. I don't either.
I mean, she's said all this time, no, I'm not the least bit interested, blah, 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 blah. But
she's interested, just not right now.
so
No, they're going to go for
is-
they're going to go for a Gavin Newsom is what they're going to do. They're going to try to push that in their convention.
And see, that-
Gavin Newsom.
that just and I know plenty of people that will be very excited about that, but those people are on the far left who are going to vote Democrat no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Those who are kind of in that swing vote category, I don't know that. I think that splits the room among them. That works to Donald Trump's advantage then at that point, because he starts winning some of that swing vote that's kind of on the fence right now.
But I think
I'll
that
throw
shows
this out
that
to
what
you.
a tailspin they're going to be in is what it is.
I'll throw a new thing out there that I haven't heard anybody say yet. So the Democrats have a history of electing either incompetent or dead people, right? I mean, look what happened in Minnesota when their senator went down in a flaming plane wreck. They left him on the ballot, elected him, and then they were able to have the governor appoint. Well, I could see a similar scenario here. They'll probably stick with Biden, let him go down in flames, not literally, but they're probably going to let him do it, and then he's going to step out or do something else. I could see them at their convention, and I don't know what the Democrat National Committee rules are because I'm not a Democrat, so I've never really combed through their rules for their convention. But could you see a replacement vice president candidate put in there with Biden, someone of their preference, rather than trying to elect a new person within a few months, after August? Just put a different vice president in there and let the delegation elect that, let Biden run. If he would happen to win, cheat, or steal, then he'll step down and let the new vice president take the helm. That would be, to me, the best case scenario for them and the easiest path forward. But that's just me talking.
Right.
What do you think of that one, Todd?
But that's just you talking.
We're in it's a Twilight Zone situation is what it is. And of course, it's so weird. Yeah. But,
Well, and that's
and here we,
did he have in the other comment that a few people, because obviously like so many other people ended up in several different texting conversations all at one time. A couple of people made the comment of, did he have a cold and was he on cold medicine? Which
No.
certainly could. But you'd think they spent an entire week doing high intensity coaching. I don't think it paid off for him last night.
No.
well, high intensity for Biden is an entirely different
It's
thing.
a relative term. I mean, come on. That's
him, that means
that's like
staying
saying
up like 5 hours.
yeah, that's like saying training for a race, but you're training me.
Oh,
It's it's not nearly
I
as
think one
intense
thing-
as say training Jesse the Mind Rossfed over here. Training me for a race would be a much different thing. You have to move the needle,
I think one thing that everybody saw last night that actually watched it and watched the whole thing is that what we've been saying for the last 4 years, Biden's not in charge, and he's not.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no way that man's in charge, and that should be terrifying to everybody because your president's supposed to be the guy. Basically, the buck stops here, right? Well, there ain't no
That's a
dollar
bunch
to
of
stop because there's no brain there.
Well, bottom line, though, every president's had advisors. The thing is I think these advisors are far more driving the
they're
bus
running
than past advisors have tended to be. And as the health question has come even more and more into play, the advisors have had to take him out from behind the wheel and just sort of slip right in. And I don't know if they put him in front of the wheel, so as you look in the windshield, it looks like it's still him, or I'm not.
I don't know, but wouldn't you have thought? Remember when Biden came in and he passed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which was a joke, and more gun control. I mean, he touted that as one of his shining examples at first, and it never came up. It never came up. And I thought, we called this, didn't we, Mike? We said that gun control probably would not be part of the debate. The border would be part of the debate. It was the inflation and the economy. And really, that's where Trump shines because he's got great record on that. So it wasn't a problem. And he just, like I said, Trump held himself very good last night. He looked presidential. You know, I don't care what he says. I don't care if he's mean, but to that middle of the road voter, I think he came across as, hey, look at this. We got bumbling Biden, or we got a guy that can put a sentence together. Maybe we got to rethink this. And I think the only thing that changed last night is that you actually have the Democrat Party, the hardcore Democrat leftists, and the talking heads in the media that now, guess what they're doing? They brought the claws out, and they know they got a problem. So it's going to be an interesting next couple months.
One of the things that Clay and Buck had mentioned, and I'd heard this from others too, and I really do agree with it, if there was a flaw in the previous debate with Trump is that he was just a little too quick on the trigger and sort of jumped over the conversation. I think he looked far more, presidential, if you will, for what the expectation is among a more moderate voter. I think it was a far more moderate voter friendly version of Donald Trump last night, which I think played extremely well to him. One guy up there looked like he was ready to take command, and the other guy looked like he was scared to be up there in the first place.
Yeah,
you nailed
very
it.
much so.
You nailed it. Yep,
and
I agree. That's
exactly
what it looked like.
The question now is, will it matter in a second debate, or is the damage done? I mean, there is one more debate off in the distance in September, mind you. But
do you think it'll actually take place? I got my doubts.
Yeah, I would think now that the Democrats do not want to have that second debate. So something will come up. We won't be able to have it because he was not able to have a presence on the stage whatsoever. And like I said, hardcore right guys are sitting there right now. Even though we won, we're going, I kind of feel bad for the guy. I mean, I know that's not our thing, but it's just like, I felt bad. That guy up there was like, if that was your grandfather, you would want to go up there and be like, it's time to go back to the home.
Exactly. If that were anybody else. How many times in conversations have you heard among people that are a little more historian that in a TV era, FDR would not have had terms 3 and 4.
Right.
Here we are in the video interfaced era. Should Joe Biden have that second presidency, if we didn't have TV, if it was just a radio thing, heck, he still sort of struggled. In 60, the 60 debate, JFK and Richard Nixon, if you ask, and plenty of historians have written about how those listening to radio thought Nixon won it. Those who watched on TV thought JFK won it because you could see JFK looking a little more, calmer and stuff. Richard Nixon sort of sweating it out a little bit.
There was a president at the turn of the century during the suffrage age that I can't remember off the top of my head, but that had a stroke and was incapacitated, but we didn't know about it. And his wife was basically running everything. Clay can help me out with that probably, which president that was. But I'm going through history all the time. But it's one of those same things right now where it's like, you saw his wife come out last night and get him off the stage. And I felt like that was a bad sign at the very end. If you were watching it, I was watching it on streaming. Both candidates stayed up there after everything was done, and they just kind of left him there. Trump was waiting for them to tell him to get off the stage, or that they're done. And Biden really looked confused, like, what do I do now? Where am I?
Too many moments of deer in the headlight looks going on there.
My.
What did he keep looking at? He was always looking off to the side like he was looking for a coach.
That's what Carrie kept asking me, too, as we were watching it last night. It's like, is he like looking for an advisor that's not there or something? And that could be, too. But, I thought at first he was just looking at one of the moderators, but then I thought, no, he's looking a little bit too far over. What is he looking for? Is he hoping that somebody is going to be standing there, or isn't that where the teleprompter screen's supposed to be? Except, no, you're not. You don't got one of those tonight, there, Joe. Sorry.
and maybe
he was looking
that
at
was
the
it.
ghost of his. Oh, sorry, Clay. He was looking at the
No,
ghost
go
of his successful policies, is what it was. I mean, it was
And it was empty.
Oh, man. Guns of the 701. Hang on, we're going to have more. We'll slice and dice a little more of this. From one standpoint, a disaster last night that even so many on that side of the aisle are going, oh, yeah, we kind of hard to take a big brag away from this one, although I see Dr. Jill's doing her best to try to spin it into a positive, but she's got to, though. I mean, in that position, what are you supposed to do, right? We got more Guns in the 701 coming up here on KFYR.
Talk show just for the Dakotas. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. Weekdays from 9 till 11 on KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio. Your KFYR Farm Field Forecast is brought to you by Northwest Tire, General Equipment and Supplies, Poland Steel of Jamestown, and Dakota Legacy Initiative.
Good morning. Here is your AccuWeather Farm Field forecast. Today, looking for clouds and some sun. A breezy day. High today, 80. Winds will be from the west with a wind speed at 9 miles per hour. Humidity at 97%. The dew point 62. Soil temperature at 65 degrees. Sunrise at 5:51 a.m. Sunset 9:41 p.m. That's your Farm Field forecast. I'm Steve Williams for AccuWeather.
Right now, 62.
It's Mitchell in the morning. KFYR 550.
Crop insurance is kind of a must-have for today's farmers and ranchers. We'll find out why next on the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report.
We're Paint Care, and we're all about keeping it simple. We make
I'm from the Athlete's Foot Foundation.
Brother, hey, can you get my demo tape to somebody?
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
News Authority. Jesse Rostvent, KFYR Radio News.
Good morning. It's 8:34 here at KFYR. Right now in Bismarck, 62 degrees. Showers, thunderstorms making their way out of the eastern portions of the region this morning as seasonably warmer temperatures across much of the region. Still a little cooler toward the northwest with highs in the 60s for the northwestern areas today. Oh, they'll stretch into the lower 80s for highs in most of South Dakota and other parts of the region. That includes here in Bismarck. AccuWeather calling for a high of 81 today. Windy conditions also possible for southwestern portions of the region. That'll be for this afternoon and this evening, as chances for showers and thunderstorms returning this afternoon as well. And those will move from west to east, exit out of the region through later tonight into tomorrow morning. Isolated strong to severe storms possible. And temperatures briefly cooling down tomorrow. Highs largely in the 60s. Warming up once more through the start of next week. Man faces several charges after police say he threatened a Mandan bar owner with a knife. It happened Wednesday evening, the Stage Stop bar, where DeAnthony Claiborne reportedly pulled out a knife during an argument with the owner, which police say began over the fact that Claiborne was eating pizza inside the bar. Left the bar, but was later arrested elsewhere. Police say they found suspected fentanyl and meth on him. He's charged with felony terrorizing and 3 misdemeanors. Trial for the woman charged with murder in the 2007 death of her roommate in Minot has been rescheduled to January in Grand Forks County, according to the online docket. Nicole Rice faces AA felony murder charge in the death of Anita Knutson. The 18-year-old Knutson was found fatally stabbed in her Minot apartment in June of 2007. Rice was arrested in March of 2022. Earlier this month, Judge Richard Hagar approved the change of venue request after the state and defense agreed it would be difficult to produce fair and impartial jury pool in Ward County. Trial would start January 6th, scheduled for roughly 3 weeks. Online records indicate as a status conference in the case scheduled for July 15th in Minot, the previous start date of the trial. Health officials say West Nile virus has been detected in mosquitoes in Grand Forks. While only a few mosquitoes have tested positive for the virus, locals being asked to take precautions. Experts saying wearing bug spray, long clothes, and even staying indoors at dusk and dawn all reduce the risk of mosquito bites. West Nile virus causes fever, headache, body aches, rash, and in some rare
Right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Partly sunny, windy, warmer, and the high today at 81. Partly cloudy, breezy tonight, though 52. Sunny, breezy, and cooler tomorrow, the high only 68. And then clear skies tomorrow night, though 48. Mostly sunny, breezy on Sunday, the high 74. And then cloudy Monday, some scattered thunderstorms, the high on Monday at 81. Plan with confidence. Check out AccuWeather.com and download the app today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Steve Williams.
Yesterday's high in Bismarck, 71. The low, 56. Average high and low this time of year, 81 and 56. Record high of 104 set on this day in 1931, then again in 2002. Sunset tonight, 9:41. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 5:52. 6,500 of an inch precipitation in Bismarck last night. Right now, mostly sunny sky, light breeze out of the west. It is 62. I'm Jesse Rostvat, KFYR Radio, your news and weather authority.
Well, congrats, Jeff and Carrie. Is Carrie, right? Not Kari.
Correct,
We were
Carrie.
having that discussion a while back because my wife's name is Carrie, but she's named after her grandmother, Kari, and it's kind of 50-50 when you see that name as to which way it's going to go in the first place. So, Jeff and Carrie, winners in the great golf giveaway of Golf Etc. and KFYR 550. Fun time over on Airport Road there.
Always, absolutely. Again, thanks to Golf Etc. Always a fun event. The great golf giveaway is we give away a set of clubs every single year, and thanks to everybody for listening and participating and wanting to get in. And Jeff and Carrie are winners.
Fantastic. Way to go, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for participating. 840. Guns in the 701. It turns out there was something on TV last night. Imagine that. We'll talk about what.
It's Mitchell in the Morning, KFYR 550.
The KFYR Cafe.
I'm not making an excuse for Trump. I'm saying this. In the end, the most shining quality about Trump is the fact that the establishment, Republicans and Democrats, are both against him. You know what? Republicans are red, Democrats are blue, and neither one of them gives a crap about you. And so anytime that group is against somebody, I think to myself deep down, they've got to be right.
The KFYR Cafe, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. on KFYR.
The world needs ways to reduce carbon emissions.
We're working on solutions in our own operations,
like carbon capture and clean energy from hydrogen.
So, who are we?
Believe it or not, ExxonMobil. And our solutions could help industries like manufacturing,
commercial transportation,
and power generation too.
Heavy industry with low emissions. Let's deliver.
Learn more at exxonmobil.com.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives you access to all. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. iHeartMedia is your access company. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations like 24/7 Comedy.
If they were really donut holes, the bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search Comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
You're like most people, you're always on the go. And the last thing you need to deal with, the headache of an unfortunate accident. Well, that's where the experts at Pucklet Chevrolet Collision Center come in. Combine our staff's years of valuable experience with the latest technologies we use to repair your vehicle, and you'll get a hassle-free experience. We also work with all insurance companies, so you don't have to. So let us give you and your vehicle the care you deserve at Pucklet Chevrolet Collision Center in Bismarck.
Everyone's talking about the Memory Fireworks app. Tell us more.
Yeah, we are so excited. View hundreds of fireworks from your couch. Put together your show before you shop.
Also scan hundreds of fireworks in our store to get the items you love for the 4th of July. 3Ls, largest selection, lowest prices, and yes, we're locally owned.
3 Bismarck locations, north on Highway 83, then east on 71st, corner of Greensboro and Centennial, and south of the airport on University, plus in Mandan, South Highway 1806.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations like 24/7 Comedy.
If they were really donut holes, the bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search Comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
KFYR at 844. Todd Mitchell, Jesse Rosfeld, Guns, and the 701 guys. Here's the text of the day here that I want to hear your reaction to this one.
Okay.
Texter says, I've got a bad feeling the closer it gets to the election, they'll revive Hillary. They hate her, but they hate the thought of losing progress on their agenda, and she remembers where the bodies are buried.
Oh, I think me and Clay will say, go ahead and do that, please.
Yeah.
It might make for a more entertaining debate next time, anyway, if nothing else.
I honestly don't think you're going to see Hillary come into this as far as a candidate. I'm not saying she's not involved. I mean, the
well, she has a new book out, so she's going to parade herself around there as much as she's permitted to. So,
but I have no doubt that she's probably involved in those conversations taking place today. I mean, like I said, the Clintons, they've had a stranglehold on that party for a long time, although I think probably Obama's is even stronger now. But I don't think you're going to see Hillary. You know what? Then it'd be the race between, two of the more disliked candidates as far as from either side of the aisle. You know what I'm saying? Hillary's not a popular person. No.
I don't think it's been a long time since I've heard anybody use that as an adjective when it comes to her.
Yeah. So I don't think it'll be Hillary. What's that, Mike?
I think how many people switched parties last time she ran simply because they could not stomach going after her. I mean, I think that's why there was such a landslide on the first election back in 2016, because she is just so unelectable.
She's very unelectable, and she's not a likable person.
If we're going for electability, they had all their chips on Joe's square. And more objectable people, regardless of, throw political ideology out of it for just a moment and just look at the guy. If you didn't know anything about where his mindset was, where his politics laid, and just watched the guy, you'd think, I don't know if that's the strongest. That can't possibly be the strongest person you've got to run this race. And maybe that's a little bit more evident now. And others are thinking, like this texter just came in, and I had plenty of friends on the left, acquaintances on the left against my will. So you can't help whose paths you run across. I know they're decent people if you just shut them up a little bit. Did I say that out loud? Wow. Sorry, the shock therapy time is later today, so maybe it'll work. Gavin Newsom is the name that's obviously getting bounced around now. What do you think of his shot?
I want to throw something here. As far as Biden goes, guys, if I met him and didn't know a thing about him, I think he's the creepy old guy that you're going, hey, guys, that guy's like from a way different era. He's creepy. He's old, and stay away from him. I mean, that would be the perception he puts off. So, yeah. Now, as far as Newsom goes, I don't think he's going to. That's my personal opinion, because he would rather, I think, step in 2028 and be front and center and have a full campaign cycle.
Oh, as opposed to like a sloppy seconds kind of thing. You got a great point there.
Yeah, and I mean, think about that. He's a very refined person. He is. He's very well spoken, and he's not dumb. Anyone that underestimates that guy, you're the dumb one, because this guy is someone to be worried about, and he is flat out. He's full bore liberal. We don't want California policies like that.
Well, that's just it. And what is it that California has that we should go? The rest of the country could really benefit from that. We should do like they did in California. I can't think what
location. No. Location. That's it. That's all.
Well, that's what God made that. You can't give Newsom credit. Okay, let me rephrase my question. What of the Newsom administration in California should the country emulate?
None of it.
Here's where the silence comes in. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Nothing but silence.
Well, that's what I thought. The room got kind of quiet on that one. But nonetheless, that's my more objective, more well-spoken friends on the left are going, yeah, we're going to have to go to Newsom now and not mess with Biden, really. Not that they think that the switch will actually happen, but if they were running the world, that's what they'd want to see, I guess.
I mean, if I was in the Newsom camp today, if I was Newsom, I'd be sitting there, okay, my name's out there. I've got name recognition, and he does. Everybody in the country probably knows who Gavin Newsom is. I would start my campaign funding to run in 2028 and be prepared for that. I mean, obviously it works to campaign for 4 years. That's what Trump's did since 2024, and that's why he's so refined and at his answers, and he knows what he's going to say, and it doesn't change. Well, Newsom's got the same exact chance to do that. So if he wants to be the contender and be the nominee, it's all on him. It's his to lose, honestly, in my opinion. He is the guy probably of the new Democrat Party, but I think he's got to wait till 2028. I don't want him at all, but he's someone to be worried about.
Well, I mean, and that's, I guess, part of the exercise here is if you're the Democrats, what do you do? And if you decide, Joe Biden, I don't see how we can recover from last night. Don't see where Kamala Harris, normally on paper, you just put your vice president right in there and be done with it. But in this case, right. I don't know that even they believe that's going to work. So what do you do? And if it's not Gavin, if it's not Michelle, and it's not Hillary, well, for crying out loud, what's next then? Where do you go?
I think Santa Claus, because they're going to have to go deep into the well on that one. So, yeah.
You know what I think it is, Todd? I do believe that if it wasn't for the situation of there's a lot of skeletons in them closets, like you said, Hillary knows where the bodies are buried. Well, so does everybody else now. And that's why otherwise they just call it a loss and go, you know what? It's 4 years. Let's just, let's do our best. We know we're going to get beat, and then we'll regroup for 2028. They can't do that because they know what's coming if Trump gets in there, and rightfully so. These people are corrupt, probably criminal, and I have no doubt that a Trump administration, they're going to go find all them skeletons and all them bodies. You have no doubt. So they're worried about that. That's what they're more worried about. They're worried about their own personal satisfaction and survival, really, and the power.
Not to mention the fact that if Trump picks the right VP, and I've got every reason to believe he will, that person is president in training. He's got the trainee tag on, underneath his presidential tag. Because guess what? That's the heir apparent. Trump can't run for more than the one term. So, okay, you're in for one. It's one more and done. And then who runs in 2028? It's whoever the next Democrat is, be it Gavin, be it whoever, against, presumably, the vice president under Donald Trump.
It's going to be interesting in 2028 with the Republican Party. I do feel, and I know this will make Jamie happy. I know he's listening. I think that DeSantis is going to come back into this. He still, and regardless of what he did and how him and Trump went back and forth, he came out and endorsed Trump. He got back on board with him. He's been doing some great things as a governor again. I've been paying attention to Florida, and he's doing some great things again as he was before. He's got his war chest started. He could continue to do that. He's probably the best position name-wise and probably financially to step on board and continue what Trump may set forth in his next term. So it'll be interesting, but I think right now, looking 4 years out, DeSantis is probably the best positioned candidate in the GOP to come out and just go straight at it. That's my opinion.
See, me and Clay don't always agree on everything because I go yikes, because if there's one guy that's disliked by both parties, it's that guy. And I don't trust a single thing DeSantis says at any given point. And, he's all about him. And so I don't know. But, hey, we'll wait and see what happens in 2028.
You know what? The Democrats are counting on Republicans to think exactly like that.
Oh, good one.
Hey, why not? Why not the VP nominee as the next president and DeSantis as vice president / president in training, who then moves up in 4 or 8 years?
Hey, I want Donald Trump Jr. There we go. He's the next president.
I still want to see like a Lauer or Ivanka Trump versus AOC debate. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, that'd be pay-per-view, man. That'd have to be pay-per-view.
Popping that popcorn, biggest bowl of popcorn I'd ever popped. Guns in the 701. We normally end up talking guns and or Second Amendment but let's face it, the commander-in-chief's going to have some influence on that, to say the least. But
Yeah.
Yep.
And special. It was a special edition today.
yes. Well, in view of current events, I think you pretty much have to do that.
Yeah.
So the new summertime on the video is?
Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Central. Of course, you can catch us every single Friday, and we're here now at 8:15 Central, right?
There you go. Yes, it converts to 8:15, you Mountain Time Zone, are you?
Yeah.
Is that because the Twins are like 10 games back? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're putting the fall schedule back in place or whatever.
There we go. Right here at KFYR and on iHeart Radio. You can find us anywhere there as well. And like the best podcast on iHeart, right?
That's right. Doggone it. You're absolutely don't tell Jamie I said that though. Okay.
Okay.
Or Michael or Daryl or I take crap from everybody.
Happy birthday.
It's like being a parent and calling it you got a favorite kid. It's not fair. And you name the kid, and then you tell everybody, now shut up, don't tell the other kids.
That's right.
All right, guys, have a good weekend. Take care.
You too, Todd. Catch you later.
All righty. Brady